Hi, hello, and welcome to Cinema Express. My name is Venkat Srikar. In the episode, Films That Made Me episode, we have filmmaker Gautham Ramachandran. வணக்கம் கௌதம், எப்படி இருக்கீங்க?
நல்லா இருக்கேன். நீங்க எப்படி இருக்கீங்க?
சூப்பராக இருக்கேன். So first of all, congrats for Gargi.
Thank you.
It's easily one of the best films of this year. எனக்கு ரொம்ப ரொம்ப பிடிச்ச படம், ரொம்பவே இம்பேக்ட் பண்ண படம். ரொம்ப அந்த சொன்ன மாதிரி இருக்கிற ஒரு ஃபேமிலி ட்ராமாவும் சரி, லீகல் ட்ராமாவும் சரி, ரெண்டு விதமாகவும் சப்போர்ட் பண்ண படமாக நான் கார்கியை பார்க்குறேன். கங்க்ராட்ஸ் ஃபார் தேட் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஆஃப் ஆல்.
தேங்க்யூ.
ஸோ ஜென்ரலி இந்த செக்மெண்ட்டில் ஃபிலிம்ஸ் தட் மேட் மீ செக்மெண்ட்டில் வே வி டாக் டு ஃபில்ம் மேக்கர்ஸ் அபவுட் தேர் ஃபேவரட் ஃபிலிம்ஸ். ரெண்டு கொஷின்ஸ் வந்து ஜென்ரலாக வந்துடும். ஒன்று வந்து எந்த பாயிண்டில் அவங்க ஃபில்ம் மேக்கர் ஆகணும்னு டிசைட் பண்ணாங்கன்ற ஒரு கொஷின். அண்ட் வாட் இஸ் தட் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஃபில்ம் that you know that triggered their love with it. இந்த ரெண்டு கொஷின்ஸ்க்குமே ஆன்சர் என்கிட்ட ஆல்ரெடி இருக்கு. நீங்க என்ன சொல்ல போறீங்க? Your Twitter bio explains that.
Okay.
That scene where she falls from stairs. Let's start from that point.
Okay.
How old were you when you first watched it? What is that impact that Fargo created?
See, I think I was in high school. Must be around 7th or 8th standard. Could be wrong. So my brother is actually a cinephile. Okay. He's the one who introduced me to watching a lot of films, and apart from the usual Doordarshan la nama paakra films avida, he was one of the first guys who actually put me onto the view of films out there. We were watching Fargo, and I still remember that one scene that I mentioned. Yeah. So standalone, if you saw that scene in some other film, you'd just laugh at it because it's a woman tumbling down.
It's a funny scene.
It's a very funny scene.
Yeah.
I remember not laughing at that scene.
Okay.
And I was wondering, this is a weird impact from a scene. And that's when I remember asking him, what is this thing? And he mentioned something on the lines of, this is a black comedy. And I remember being taken aback by the answer. Like, because as a kid, comedy you hear, what is a black comedy? And I think that sort of stuck in me. And probably from there, I went on to watch more variety of films. But if somebody asks me to put a point, I think that is one of the points that maybe picked some intrigue in me. Chinna vayasle oru.
ஓகே, சூப்பர். ஸோ நீங்கள் ஆல்ரெடி எனக்கு ஒரு லிஸ்ட் ஆஃப் ஃபிலிம்ஸ் கொடுத்துருந்தீங்க. ஒன் பை ஒன் வரலாம். ஹவு டிட் ஃபார்கோ இன்ஃப்ளூயன்ஸ் யுவர் ஃபில்ம் மேக்கிங் ஆர் ரைட்டிங்?
See, I think one of the why it stood out எனக்குன்னா அதோடைய விஷுவல் லாங்குவேஜ் ரொம்ப ரொம்ப ஹெவியாக இருக்கும். அண்ட் ஈவன் தி ஓப்பனிங் கிரெடிட்ஸ், வாட் இட் செட் அண்ட் த வே இட் செட் இட். Till then you've been used to a certain kind of thing, So this one looked from the minds of people who knew exactly what impact they wanted to create on the audience. Because and the mastery over the craft is excellent, because a slow screenplay can bring a movie down. But they had a slow screenplay and it still had you begging for more. How important geography is to a film.
To film.
The backdrop.
Physical setting.
Where you set it up against. And so you'll say, oh, this has 2 low-life thieves. But it doesn't end there for the Coen brothers. They will delve into the psyche of who these two are. Why you have to connect with them. Why you have to like them. Why you don't have to like them. The pacing at which they say their dialogues. And their mannerisms, if you still remember in the climax when she goes and he's putting the body through
it's a shocking scene actually.
It's a very shocking scene.
I remember ரொம்ப disturbing
because you see the leg popping out of the and her mannerism is she doesn't believe, and so she has to point to her cap and say, I'm a cop. So those were like very level interesting for me when I saw, and I think they never left my memory bank maybe. I see. I can't put a finger and say this is how it influenced me, but something influences you when you know that they stay in your mind. And you're thinking about it and you want to talk about it. இதெல்லாம் பார்க்கும்போது தான் நமக்கு வந்து தோணும், ஓகே இதுதான் in retrospect I think okay இதுதான் இன்ஃப்ளூயன்ஸ் பண்ண மொமெண்ட்ஸே ஆகட்டும் சீன்ஸே ஆகட்டும் it was just different from the rest, no?
Okay.
So every movie that I have mentioned to you is something that I have gone back again and again and again. Sometimes like the terminal is for entertainment reasons.
Yeah.
You know, there can't be a more perfect entertainer, you know, and there can't be a more perfect grammatically written film in terms of your story structure and everything that follows.
Yeah.
So moreover, when you follow, you know, writing grammar and all, sometimes you end up making logically straight film and you go low on the entertainment quotient. But these guys, I don't think ever missed it, you know. So
Terminal in the vayasla pathinga, what was your first impression?
Terminal is I think much later, but all upon release only I've seen.
Okay.
Nothing like I caught after many years and
okay.
Including Pallavi and Upallavi, Accident and Minchinota, the Shankarnath films that I mentioned. Ellame immediate paatha films.
Okay,
maybe not theatrical.
Okay.
But odane paatha or films da.
Since you are talking about slow paced
right.
and the paced screenplay, நாங்க எங்க ஆபீஸ்ல 2 days back discuss பண்ணிட்டு இருந்தோம் No Country for Old Men பத்தி.
Right.
No Country for Old Men when it came out in 2007 or 2008. We were talking about our personal experiences. இப்போ இங்க எல்லாருமே வந்து 20-year-olds தான். They were describing எப்படி அவங்க டீனேஜ்ல அந்த படத்தை பார்த்திருந்தா லேட் டீன்ஸ்லயோ இல்லை ஏர்லி டீன்ஸ்லயோ அந்த படத்தை பார்த்திருந்தா ப்ராபபிலி அது வந்து அவ்வளவா ரெஜிஸ்டர் ஆயிருக்காது. பிகாஸ் we are inclined to, we are used to watching a certain kind of cinema. No Country for Old Men, அது அவ்வளோ, it has a very sad and I think Coen Brothers filmography la one of those rare grim filmsனா அதுவும் சொல்லலாம். அந்த காமிக் டச் கொஞ்சம் கம்மியாக இருந்த மாதிரி படம். ஸோ we were discussing அந்த படம் எப்படி சின்ன வயசுல பார்த்தா பெருசா பிடிச்சிருக்காது. பட் இப்போ கோயிங் பேக் டு இட், அதுல இருக்கிற சப்டெக்ஸ்டும் அதுல இருக்கிற லேயர்ஸ் அண்ட் லேயர்ஸ் ஆஃப் சப்டெக்ட் அது வந்து எவ்வளோ டென்ஸா எவ்வளோ ரிச்சா இருக்கு. ஸோ நீங்க ஃபர்ஸ்ட் பார்த்தப்போ எப்போ பார்த்தீங்க and what was the first impression?
First I think I was studying law when I saw it. Or maybe
okay, so fairly you had knowledge about films.
Yeah. By then I was a Coen Brothers fan and I saw it upon release. See, subtext and density and all is something that I had not known at that point.
Okay.
But பார்க்கும்போது வந்து if it sets you apart, then you know இல்லடா இது நார்மல் கிடையாது. Like Road to Perdition. You know?
Yeah, Sam Mendes.
Yeah. So barring the, I mean, apart from the obvious fact that it's beautifully shot and
obviously
all that, you know, I think it takes time for you to realize, hey, this is about a father going to any extent to protect his son child, and both ways. This is about the other father also who went.
It's about the tale of two fathers. Victim of a father and you can
same.
say.
So I think you know, you can't decode things and say this is why you feel separately about these films, but you know there's something in the writing. இதனால தான் வந்து நமக்கு ரொம்ப வருஷம் ஆனாலும் you will remember scenes from it. I still remember the scene he comes from the shadow on the shootout. ஸோ எடுக்கும்போது இதெல்லாம் வந்து எஸ்தட்டிக்காக பிளான் பண்ணாதான் வந்து இட் ஸ்டேஸ் இன் த ஆடியன்ஸஸ் மைண்ட். ஸோ ஐ திங்க் ஐ வாஸ் இன்ஃப்ளூயன்ஸ்ட் பை த வே ஆர் த ரீசன் வை சர்டன் பீப்புள் ஷாட் சர்டன் ஃபிலிம்ஸ். மேபி ஐ வாஸ் நாட் ரெடி டு டூ தட் இன் த ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஃபிலிம். மேபி ஐ வாஸ் நாட் தேர். இப்போ தெரியல, மேபி இட் வாஸ் த ப்ராசஸ் இஸ் ஸ்லோ ஐ திங்க். பட் வித் Gargi I explored more on why people do whatever they are doing and நம்ம எப்படி நமக்கு ஒரு ரெஸ்பான்சிபிலிட்டி இருக்கு இல்லைங்களா, அது எப்படி காட்டணும் அப்படின்றது. ரைட். ஸோ அந்த மாதிரி தீமேட்டிக்கலான சேஞ்சஸ் வர்றதுக்கு கொஞ்சம் டைம் ஆகும்னு நினைக்கிறேன். பட் ஐ எம் ஹாப்பி வி ட்ரை டு எக்ஸ்ப்ளோர் those spaces and these films have definitely had an impact.
Yeah. No Country for Old Men la, if you have to point out your favorite scene, what will that be?
Opening scene la he's taking aim and he shoots and he's watching to the viewfinder and the dog turns back and looks at him. I thought that spoke a million words. So the dog turned back and he was like, "Dey enna shoot panna, na enna panna" அப்படின்ற. There's another scene where Shigor
shopkeeper scene,
that is an obvious one.
Okay.
There's another scene where he's in that motel and the blood comes out.
Oh yeah.
Just casually lifts his, you know, and to avoid the blood getting. I thought that was very cold. and it was so casually done. I love every scene where he uses that cow gun. No? It's so violent.
Yeah, it is brutal.
Brutal.
Yeah.
And I think that was one of the first films which showed this gun splinter very well.
Oh, okay.
It's not just one either, but
the splash out.
Yeah, that was that. I thought that was very painful, to see that, and it showed that there are no free lunches in the world. You don't get away with a bag full of money that is rightfully not yours, and if you actually see, that money was bad karma. Somebody else's bad karma.
That passes on.
That just passes on easily. And I thought not many people would have been able to execute one thing, that is Tommy Lee Jones's character. Otherwise, it will become philosophical. Hey, you mattu thaniya pesranda appadinu. I don't know what measure they write their dialogues with, but you already have two menacing people. You have a plot that's already pulsating. This man added to that. I thought that was, it's not like he was very renowned for his performance before that, or he's had Oscar winning performance. But idhila something that he did was,
especially with the voice.
I swear, the wherever it was voiceover, especially.
That's more haunting.
Yeah, that was and that took me a good 1 or 2 views to actually, emote with him and empathize with him. I'll tell you my favorite scene if you were to ask me. That is Javier Bardem's character goes in search of, Brolin. He goes to that motel, that park, caravan park. There's one chubby lady who's the receptionist, or she's the only one who doesn't care about him. She actually threatens him. And he looks back and he's like, I've been killing people all over town. Look at the way this lady is, and she can't care less. She's I can't.
So indifferent. Yeah.
So it actually inspired me to write something in a film, in a script that might see the light soon. So.
Okay, super. Now let's get to in the generally ஃபில்ம்மேக்கர்ஸ்ட்டு நான் பேசும்போது அவங்க சொல்ல லிஸ்ட்டில் வந்து மோஸ்ட்லி நான் படங்கள் பார்த்துருவேன். பட் சின்ஸ் இதுக்கு டைம் இல்லாதனால, அண்ட் ஆனெஸ்ட்லி ஐ ஹாவன்ட் எக்ஸ்ப்ளோர்ட் Shankar Nag at all, but I really want to. So please guide me through him. What makes Shankar Nag what he is, and why did you choose these two films? இது கொஞ்சம் சொல்லுங்க.
See, again, at least Fargo, I was in high school or something. Much of Shankar Nag's films, I think I saw on Doordarshan, where your only avenue to films, I think back then, I don't know if you are aware, was Saturday or Sunday or
weekly ஒரு film போடுவாங்க சொல்லுவாங்க.
So you will watch a lot of entertainment, then you will have dinner and go to sleep. There'll be only 1 or 2 films that will stand out. These 2 films that I mentioned, one is Accident, and the other one is called Minchina Ota, which means roughly translates to Golden Run. Minchina Ota is about a group of people who are on the run from the prison.
Oh, okay.
And Accident is about an accident that's been caused by a politician's son and journalists trying to unearth it. And it's shot so well. It's not in the format of a
journalistic thriller.
Yeah, it is that, but it's not in the format of a colorful film.
Right.
Back then itself, when I saw it, I was thinking, okay, this looks very... And I think he did that at the peak of his career, where he plays just a normal journalist in the film. Minchina Ota also remains special because one of the co-artists from the film visited my dad's office a few months later. So, the memory of seeing your first actor and all that. And I don't know, I think if you see it, it's just the nature of these 2 films are just so beautiful. And I think he made something called Idu Sadhya after that, which means This Is Possible. I think it's about entered the world record or something for being shot in 48 hours or something. Another thriller, which I think is a remake of another film or something like that. But why Shankar Nag stood out for me growing up is because I think he was one of the first people, mainstream filmmakers perhaps, in Kannada, to add a lot of social commentary in his films. And it was done so tastefully, not like stand and
on the face.
Yeah, not that. Especially with these 2, I felt it was very beautiful. Also, Minchinota, spoiler alert, is an anti-climax film.
Okay.
I was just blown when I saw that. I think I cried or something. I don't recollect too much, but these are films that had an impact in terms of me not being able to forget it, and constantly think about it and talk to people about it. And I would actually add Pallavi and Pallavi also right there. Manisha's.
Yeah, it's all Anil Kapoor's Kannada film. Not many
yeah.
people know. But,
Yeah. Manisha Anil Kapoor. Raja sir doing the music and PC sir shot it. So the thing about that film that I enjoyed the most was it took somebody from Chennai to showcase the beauty of MG Road in Bangalore back then. A lot of directors have, but there's just something about, sometimes an outsider's perspective is like, with Gargi, a lot of people said
Chennai looked so different.
Shade. I think sometimes it's easy for an outsider not to succumb to
the normality of
the geography and na irundha idam, the one how I saw the city through my eyes, nama kaattumbodhu, it's very beautiful. And also, for an artist, generally there's this tendency you will always fall in love with the rebel, because they've tried to show something new. You will hit some, you will miss some, but you will I think the yearning to do something new is something that will be similar in both of you. So maybe you will connect to that, and that way I love Shankar Nag. Later passed away in an accident, but everything he did till then and has always been.
Okay. Now coming to Mani Ratnam's Pallavi and Pallavi, what is, in addition to the geography of the city, do you have any memories with that film?
I do. Songs.
Okay. I was watching a song yesterday.
Right?
In the garden, the one.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
And I think that was one of the first films that explored the concept of younger man, older woman love story.
Taboo, considered a taboo. It's still,
yeah. But if you saw the film, you will not think of it as
normalized.
It's not normalized. It's shown very poetically. It's not shown like a fascination for a young man or something like that. It shows why he likes. They say it's the maturity and all that. Yeah? So it also shown why he falls for her, while he has a perfectly nice younger girlfriend. He's still, and there's a climax in that film where he's at one point and she's at another and the other one's at another, but he gets nobody. Physically they're actually there, but he gets nobody, and that was brilliant. I think it's shot at the Bangalore airport, if I'm not wrong, the old airport. Had a big impact.
Okay. So now coming towards more the lighter films. Actually, Catch Me If You Can நம்ம முன்னாடியே டிஸ்கஸ் பண்ணியிருக்கணும். பட் பண்ணலாம். இட்ஸ் நாட் ஆக்சுவலி லைட் ஃபில்ம் அட் ஆல். இட்ஸ் வெரி, எனக்கு Catch Me If You Canல எனக்கு பர்சனலாக ரொம்ப பிடிச்சது வந்து ஃபாதர் அண்ட் சன் டைனமிக்.
Oh yeah. I was just very thrilled by how entertaining it was.
That's
and I love the cat and mouse thing that they had going on. And I liked how naive Frank Abagnale Jr., Leonardo DiCaprio's character, how he gets scared at one point, but and how conning people sort of came to him in a very charming manner. And then I'd of course read about the person before, or I think after, and I liked how he was taken back. I think he was recruited by the.
He is film la kuda towards the end.
Towards the end. So I was enamored by just its entertainment value. I saw it in Plaza Theatre in Bangalore.
Okay. On the big screen, very wow.
Yeah, full house. And everybody was like laughing and having a lot of fun, and it's sort of a responsibility when you take two of the world's biggest artists and and make it into thrills and comedy and all that. So I think Steven Spielberg, for a very large to a very large extent, and for so many years, he got the entertainment value of a film so bang on right.
I think he still does.
Yeah, he still does. Yeah, but nothing compared to, because right now your yardstick for entertainment is just very weird. But when he was doing there, and when you saw families come in to watch all these films, and he's doing the films in Hollywood, and I was seeing it in Bangalore with packed houses, and I thought he had found a language that he had mastered, you know. So he's one of my role models in terms of.
ஒரு படம் பத்தி பேச மறந்துட்டோம், தட் இஸ் சத்தம் போடாதே.
Okay. Actually, Vasant sir is somebody who was not influenced, whose films I've loved. From Eni Romba Alaga Irukku, Satham Podade. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to see the last one. Shivaranjaniyam film. But otherwise, Rhythm. Then Ase and all I loved, right from the music to there's a certain language he follows, and very derivative of Mani sir's style, but I think the darkness lurks more in his films.
Okay.
Just human psyche, darkness, not exactly a villain I'm saying. Even if you take Nitin Satya's character in Satham Podade to what Prakash Raj did in Ase, it's just right there where they're scheming, and this fellow is in the guise of being a challenged person, but he still has tricks up his sleeve, and so does Prakash Raj in Ase. I think I also loved அவருக்கு ஒரு மியூசிக் சென்ஸ் இருக்கு, அல்டிமேட்டா இருக்கும். Pulveli from Ase.
All his albums
it's still on my favorites.
Okay.
I've loved his work. They look like poetry sometimes. The way it just flows, and it's nice when scenes have like a zen feeling to it. We try to do that in Gargi, where you have just calmness, but you never know when what is going to erupt and explode. I think he does that even when he does Eni Romba Alaga Irukku. So there's still something so this thing about it. To when he touches crime thrillers, like I thought that very effortlessly he had found a language, and I wish he comes back and does more films. Vasant sir Vanga, please.
Super. Let's talk about this classic called Moonram Pirai. Everybody, like, I think one of the all-time Tamil films listed the greats la irukra padam. When did you watch that? What's your first impression?
Moonram Pirai was not immediate watch.
Obviously, yeah.
So a little later. See, if you ask me about did the story influence you or something, I'll say no. But again, the visual language that Balamendra sir had found, and easily the most poignant visual from the film for most people will be Yeniniya Punila, the way that song was shot, and the minimum light, and you'd never seen parks like that, no? So I can only remember he passed away, but I can only remember Pratapothan dancing, and I actually can't.
Hard to describe
what
that feeling.
What he did with it was so effortless. Whether it was Kamal sir doing whatever he was doing, or Pratapothan romancing, or in fact, not too many people might have seen his last but one film. Adu oru Kanakalam. I loved that too. I think it's Ooty or Kodaikanal or somewhere, and I don't remember. It looked exactly like the visuals of
Moonram. Okay. You should check out the original Nirikshana. It's Telugu. Yeah, okay. Archana and Bhanuchandar. I haven't seen the Dhanush Priyamani film, but the original, I think 88, is brilliantly shot.
This looks like an 88 film only. I think it's been made to look like a very old film. I actually haven't met too many people who've seen the film. I think I was just lucky when I saw it, and I just fell in love with it. And of course, one other thing about Balamendra sir that I'd only read and all that is, I read somewhere that he was present when the climax of the bridge on the river Kwai was being shot, and that influenced him to get into films.
David Lean's.
Yeah. I mean, that film shooting is a mystery in itself, because the climax was apparently shot in Sri Lanka, where he witnessed the last train, the explosion from across, and
Oh,
he was
wow.
there. That's how.
Fascinating piece of trivia.
Yeah. So I was thinking, whoa, he got to watch.
Stand
classic.
Live 54.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I actually did meet Balmendra sir once, and I spoke to him for 5 minutes, and
What did you talk about?
I said, I want to come to your office. I want to meet you. He said, sure, Gautham. He was very well spoken and very polished. And he said, do come sometime, And we had a common friend, one of his students, because he had a film school back then. I don't know what the status of that is now. It's called Cinema Patrai.
Okay.
Something like that.
Okay.
So he had introduced me to Balmendra, and I met him, and he said, come to the office sometime. Unfortunately, for that. So.
Okay, ரொம்ப சீரியஸா போயிடுச்சு. Let's talk about 40-year-old virgin.
Okay. As many times I go back and see Fargo, I've actually gone back and seen Terminal, 40-year-old virgin, all these things, I just love how entertaining it is.
Even talking about that film, it puts a smile on my face. When did you watch it?
That was a theatrical watch.
So, did you know the hype around Steve Carell?
No. Okay. My hype around Steve Carell is in the last 15 years, since Office and all that.
Okay.
When I saw him on that, I thought, what a fantastic actor, Then I think Foxcatcher was a thing that I really liked him in. Later. Then I think Evan Almighty, he did.
I love him, Evan Almighty.
I prefer Bruce Almighty. Anyway.
Yeah, obviously, but Evan Almighty is great. Yeah.
So there is some hilarious recall value that the 40-year-old virgin has.
Yeah.
And I think it plays on a topic that can actually be a little sensitive and
it's very sensitive
and all that, but just the way that approach it, and of course everything that he does in the film is huge.
Almost everything about that film is funny.
Yeah.
So one of my visual comedy and சொல்லுவாங்க இல்லையா, லைக் இப்போ ஒரு ஜோக்கை வந்து நம்ம விஷுவலா you can write dialogue வழியா communicate பண்றது வந்து ஒரு விஷயம். You can just write a joke and have two people converse and okay, you're achieving it. But there is visual comedy in the film where he doesn't want to think about sex, and then everything he's watching alludes to sex. Or bus varum, he sees a bus that has a sexual ad. He starts walking. So just imagine the effort that had gone into to make that episode work. Writing a joke is different, and then using production design, using everything
around you too.
Yeah. So what are some of your favorite scenes from the film?
I actually like how those two met and how they fell in love. They are such oddballs, She already has a family and kids and all, and he's looking for something else. I mean, his friends want him to just get laid and move on. So I think that's the beauty of such films, even though it has your obvious kick by playing to obvious humor, they still have. I think while writing, they would have thought, let's make opposites meet. Let's keep it like this, let's keep it like that. But the underlying, sometimes it can be philosophy actually, because he set out to just have one night's action, but he ended up with a family, something that he didn't have. He was just collecting action figures.
Loner, like Saturday enna panninga kettadukku he says, I had a very interesting Saturday, and the short jump cuts to him sitting in his couch and playing a video
and he describes, I think, making sandwich and eating
egg sandwich.
So from there to having a family and helping them through an issue, that deepness is.
Now let's talk about Secret Life of Walter Mitty, which is one.
Wait, you were talking about the older one or the Ben Stiller
one? I'm talking about the Ben Stiller one. Okay. It is one of my all-time favorite films. Like, one of my biggest regrets is that I couldn't catch that film in a theater because I had exams back then, and it played only for 2 weeks, and I couldn't catch it. Please tell me, what was your experience like?
So firstly, if you haven't seen the old one, you should.
I haven't seen.
I think it's 60s or 70s. It's not exactly the
adaptation
same.
From the same book.
Yeah, it is. What I loved about Secret Life of Walter Mitty is actually the movie is extremely grammatical in terms of all your beat points, Sitfield and Wagler and all that. But not one place you will see that it moves from this point to this point. Even as I saw, sometimes you analyze films, no? Like the biggest takeaway for me was when they showed the Time magazine cover. So that is like ultimately saying it was him all along, So
The whole journey was a metaphor of
it was
sorts, yeah.
and saying these are the real heroes. There is no other way you can announce a hero's arrival than that. When I saw that in theater, when I saw that, I had goosebumps. And this man sees the photo and realizes that shit, it's me, because he's gone through humiliation, everything,
physical pain,
yeah,
volcano eruption,
all that. Land somewhere in what, Greenland,
Afghanistan, Ireland, that's brilliant sequence where he skates.
So Sean Penn's cameo, where it says sees the snow leopard, no?
He doesn't click.
So sometimes I I was like, oh my god, this guy is so I don't know how much to say, but I was very touched when I saw the film. I was like, என்னடா இப்படி இருக்குது, லைக் சிரிக்கலாம் ஒரு இடத்துல ஃபீல் ஆகுது. And then the photo scene was something that I didn't expect that at all. I had forgotten the old one by then, or I don't know if I remembered it, but it didn't matter to me. The way he sits in front of the office and sees that photo, I still am hugely inspired from that, and someday I'll make something definitely like that, where you turn around and say, in fact, after Richie, there's something that I had, me and Vijay Deverakonda had sort of spoken to do something, and something like this is what I had written.
I believe Ultimately is one of those films that I keep going back to. Life changing film.
But it's not on OTT anywhere, no? Yeah,
it's not. Unfortunately, it's not on OTT.
Wait, there's something else I have to tell you. Some film that My Cousin Vinny.
Oh, yeah.
I go back to it, like it's on my laptop, it's everywhere. It's something that
Joe Pesci
blows me away every time. Like, everything about the film. There's not one wrong shot in the film. I think the maximum recommendations I've given to people,
My Cousin Vinny.
My Cousin Vinny will top the list. Like, settalu paralla naaluk saagringa inik paathunga.
Wow. Why are you like a Joe Pesci fan, or what's about that film? Konjo discuss panga.
No. I of course I'm a Joe Pesci fan. But the film in itself is it's just different. I've seen it with my family. I've seen it with my dad. Likes the film. It's clean. It has multitude of things to say. So easily you can connect, and I think in a way my Indran's is an ode to what
right.
In that he's a small town rookie.
He's a noob.
He's a nobody. But you will never say he doesn't know to talk. There's a beautiful scene which I'll definitely, I think I'll rip off that and use it in a clip. There's a scene where the two guys who get arrested are talking amongst each other, and I think this fellow Joe Pesci has already started. He's already represented them once, and one is his cousin. There is a cousin's friend. The cousin's friend is very apprehensive, like what is he going to do and all that. So this guy explains why he chose him.
An incident. He shares an incident.
And there used to be this magician who used to come, and everybody would be like, cheering and all, but
he would go and find
show me this and show me that. I remember thinking, there's no better way you can write a person's backstory. Adukapra shot comes to Vinny. You know this fellow is capable now. You just want to sit back and see how fun it's going to be.
You know that he's going to crack.
But எப்படி பண்ண போறாருன்றது மட்டும் இல்ல, உட்கார்ந்து பாரு தம்பி, நம்ம காட்டப்போ. I am very enamored by backstories, nomenclature, all these things in film. So இதெல்லாம் கேட்கும்போது எனக்கு I remember thinking, whoa, you can't write நமக்கு வந்து பேக் ஸ்டோரினா ஊர் காட்டுவோம், ஒரு பாட்டு இருக்கும், ஒரு தனி கதை இருக்கும்.
We'll show that scene. We'll show. We just don't hell don't show அன்றதுக்கு I think this is a perfect example.
So yeah, suddenly I remembered. I was thinking 40-year-old virgin-ஓட வேற என்னென்ன வச்சிருப்பேன் அப்படின்னு யோசிக்கும் போது
Okay, super. I'm so glad that இது வந்துச்சுன்னு surprise. It was surprising.
Right.
It's amazing.
I know when I gave the list to you itself only, I was like, what are you doing? You missed out half the films, but I've been in between so many things and I was able
I know it's so hard to like make a list. I mean, making lists is one of the hardest tasks for us.
Tamil, if you ask me suddenly, Panchatantiram, Pamal Ke Sambandham. These are movies that, you know, again, innumerable views and Terminator 2.
Yeah.
I think my mother knows a few of the dialogues by heart. That's how many times me and my brother would have seen it. You know.
Lovely. Thank you very much for your
My
time.
pleasure.
I'm looking forward to what you're going to do next.
I am equally
looking forward.
I want to, it's like, I'll see what you're going to do next. No, park loud. So.
Superb. So thank you very much for
Thank
that.
you.
This
My
was a
pleasure,
great
man.
conversation.
Thank you.
Before we cut, have a little present for you.
Okay.
Rakesh. நீங்களே unveil பண்ணி பார்த்துருங்க.
Thank you. Oh. Thank you so much. This is so sweet.
சில படங்கள் ஃபிட் பண்ண முடியல டிசைன்லால பட் ஃபார்கோவுக்கு தனியா நான் அது
I saw that. It was very, very thoughtful. Thank you so much. இது நான் தான். No surprise. Minchinota, Sattam Podade, Secret Life of Walter Mitty, Accent, Pallavi Anupallavi, 40-year-old Virgin. Then we have Moonram Pirai. And then we have Catch Me If You Can.
And this
and my favorite. The scene where she falls down the stairs. That's the moment I knew. Fargo. Thank you so much, Ram. It's one of the sweetest things that I've received.
Lovely.
Thank you.
Thank you.